Woo! Ha! Holy crap. Let's see. Let us see. I hope. Yeah! Woo! Huh. Whew. Yes! I did it! Wow, I didn't think that'd be my reaction. Whew. Oh my gosh. I need to bring it down a level. Holy cow. Holy macaroni. Hey guys, OFSREagle here, bringing you a brand new video today. As you can probably see from probably the title of the video and probably from the opening clip you just saw, I am very happy to say that I have now achieved and gotten my first ever champ ever in Halo 5, and it was in free-for-all, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. I've been putting a lot of hard work into it. This gameplay that you see in the background is just some shoddy snipes I recorded. I'll probably record, if the clip runs out, I'll probably record some other gameplay. I just wanted to take this video to kind of share my journey from where I started and into the ranks of champion, top 200 in the world for free-for-all. Individual skill is up there. So this is very important for me personally because for one, I never believed or thought I'd even get here. I never thought I was good enough to get to that level, especially with my short tenure in Halo 5. So very excited to share that with you. So I wanted to kind of just go over my journey and my results and my growth, and just the process that I've gone through and kind of my findings. And I don't want to do like a 0 to hero or grind to champ series. That's been well played out by other YouTubers. I just want to take this video specifically to kind of just really lay out how I went from here to here, and that's something that I'm never thought I'd get to say. I am excited about this playlist specifically because if you ask me, the two important playlists in Halo 5, and don't get offended, is like HCS and free-for-all. HCS measures your skill as a competitive team, and free-for-all measures your individual competitive skill. And yes, we have SWAT and breakout and those specifically is like you can get champ in those as well in Slayer and Team Arena, but to me it's like not as nearly as competitive. And just specifically when you're trying to sharpen yourself as a player in a competitive mindset, free-for-all and HCS are the two ones to go to. And to say that I got champ in free-for-all is just something that 6 months ago at DreamHack Denver I barely touched Onyx, and to now in such a short amount of time go from there to champ is just really means a lot to me. So I wanted to share my thoughts. Now the first thing is it's a low champ, but it's champ nonetheless. And in a very short amount of time I went from not really understanding the meta to really getting a good grasp of it and being able to apply it. So I'm excited. This is again a big milestone for me. This is my first, and I know for a lot of you this is probably like not that big of a deal. Oh, he got champ. Like I get it all the time. Great. I'm honestly it is for me. It has been such a learning curve on how this game works, and so to go from a year ago not playing Halo 5, I played it when it first came out, only touching SWAT for a few months. Didn't touch it again for like a year. I played Halo Reach and Halo 4, SWAT only. Literally, that's all I did. I played maybe 2 games of snipers, and that's all I did was SWAT. And so, January of 2017 is when I picked up Halo 5 again, and all I did was SWAT. Got my Onyx in that, and it was just, again, it's not the most competitive playlist. And for those of you who have champs in those, like breakout and like snipers and stuff like that, like it's great, and you know, there's definitely skill, but in terms of like competitive, like going for, you know, a HDS sort of style, free for all in HDS is, you know, it's kind of where it's at. And personally, you know, free for all is really good at pointing out your individual gunfight skill, which will carry over into like HDS and stuff. So to say that I got champion FFA is a big milestone for me personally. I didn't. In fact, I'll include a clip right here of my first ever Halo video, and where you'll see my mindset coming into YouTube, coming into, you know, a Halo scene. Coming from a SWAT background, all I knew how to do was, you know, I watched, you know, people like Proximity and Novacast first starting out, and learned kind of the meta of Halo, right? But I didn't ever really think it would even be possible for me personally to get to this level. I'm thinking of doing a few different series, like probably a solo queue from like Plat up, not like an Onyx or Champ, whatever it is. But also, and with that being said, it would be a lot more analytical. I'd be really vocal about my thought process, what's going through my head. Again, this is from someone who's just not the best in the world, but someone who loves the game. I'm just here to have fun. I want you guys to have fun too. I'm also here to be as helpful as I can, share my learning experience. I'm still a scrub, even though I have like a few moments of kind of sort of epicness. And I, you know, viewed myself as an average Joe, and I still kind of do, but at the same time I know I can't deny the growth. And I'm really here wanting to explain this as a testament to say that I came from literally the most average of average, and 9 months later coming in and saying I'm, you know, one of the top 200 in the world, and that's something that blows my mind. So I'm really happy about that. I know the ranking system isn't perfect, but still that's a big milestone. So if I can do it, almost anyone can do it. Seriously, like, I did not grow up with video games. I didn't play my first Halo game until I think I was like 17, 18. So I'm not Shotzi. I didn't grow up with a Halo with a controller in my hand and playing Halo at 5 years old. So, but the biggest thing that I wanted to share going into this, it's still kind of, you know, overwhelming for me, but I think the first thing, especially like with now, if you don't know already, the last week I've been grinding the Halo World Cup FFA playlist, and the reason why is because it's actually going away. And before, with the old free-for-all settings, they had only the they had all the normal maps. It was the old radar, AR starts. So the old radar, meaning it tracked your normal Spartan movement. So walking, it tracked your walking movement. And you know, the AR starts. It was first to 25 kills. It wasn't the unlimited kills 12-minute timer, and so that was a really hard struggle for me to get used to. And I got Onyx in that, and then they introduced the Halo World Cup FFA playlist, because when I went to my first LAN at DreamHack Denver, you know, I was grinding the FFA playlist and I barely cut champ. I got like 1570 something, like it was not even, like it was really low. And then when I got to DreamHack Denver, when the actual FFA LAN started, it was Regret and Truth, no radar, unlimited kills, 12 minutes, and it was such a paradigm shift. I'm like, it was such a different meta. I didn't know what to do, you know, and I got knocked out pretty early. And so what they decided to do, thankfully, is for the World Cup season, for the actual World Championship, they decided to have the FFA rank playlist reflect those settings. And if you ask me, it was a great decision, because you know, it got everyone used to the actual settings that they would be competing in for those who went for that. And I personally love the settings. I love HCS settings. I don't like AR starts. The one thing I don't like is it was only limited to Truth and Regret. As I was playing it, I got tired of Truth and Regret. I really wish that they would put maybe Plaza and the Rig and Coliseum in there. I think that in itself would be a good rotation. You have one power weapon to worry about, and it would put an interesting little variable and a dynamic in there. And as I was playing that, I was comparing the new FFA settings where it's just Truth and Regret, unlimited kills, 12 minutes, to the old FFA settings, and it really was an eye opener because the playstyle just changed like that. Like, it made me think about the overall scope of the match rather than what was in front of me. With the old settings, I was always worried about the power weapon, and I was always worried about the person who was had the most kills, because you're getting to 25 kills, right? And I had to, I was always worried about someone else. And with these new settings, with the unlimited kills, you had a timer, so you had some time to breathe and really settle into a good mindset and a good groove that would allow you momentum and to keep getting kill after kill and getting you to a good rhythm that would kind of make sure you had a good buffer or a good amount of kills cushion before the second player. Well, that's something that I really stood out to me. Is when I first started, I was always worried about the guy who was right next to me or the guy who was in the lead. I was always worried about trying to watch the kill feed when he got a kill. And when that would happen, when I was starting to let's say I had a 5-kill lead and I was kind of comfortable, but I was starting to pay more and more attention to the guy in second place and how he's creeping up and slowly getting closer and closer to me. I would sometimes panic and be reactive and try to play off of him. If he gets killed, I need to kill. I wasn't focusing on what I was doing. I was focusing on what everyone else was doing, which in turn affected me negatively. So I didn't do as well, and then they would get even closer and maybe even pass me up, and then it would just be this bad cycle. And one of the biggest things that I realized, and this is kind of goes outside of Halo, is when I did the best is when I kind of forgot about everyone else, what everyone else was doing. Sure, it's free-for-all. You pay attention to the kill feed to a degree, but you're just worried about how you are performing. Am I finishing out my kills? Am I cleaning up my shots? Am I finishing out my gunfights? Am I paying attention to the time for power-ups and stuff like that? But let me just get into a good rhythm and focus on doing the best I can do, being the best me, not what everyone else is doing. And when you focus on being able to do the best you'll be fine. And some of the best games I played where I got I think the best game I ever had was I had 25 kills above the next guy, and I got like above 50 kills, was when I was ignoring what everyone else's kills, their stats, and I was just focusing on being in a good rhythm and playing the game the way it was meant to be played. And that's when I did the best. And then I noticed when I was being more conscious and aware of oh, I'm really close to champ, the next game I win might get me my champ, and I can't let anyone else win, and I would get consumed by what everyone else is doing, and it would just put me down again. And that was something very interesting that I had to learn as I was playing. Is just, you do the best you can do and growth will come. When I first started the new setting FFA playlist, I didn't do that great. I didn't understand the spawns very well, and I didn't understand the idea of timing and momentum, kind of anchoring position, going back and forth, especially for Regret. That works great. But as time progressed, when I realized if I can focus on these key aspects and just master that and get that down, that will really give me a good advantage over everyone else. And that in and of itself really was kind of kind of like a life lesson, just be the best you, don't focus on anyone else, and that's when you'll do the best. That's kind of what happened. And now I'm happy to say I have a champ. Now, sadly, this I'm recording this, not tomorrow, but on May 1st, the season will reset, and it isn't just it's a normal season reset. The settings, the FFA settings specifically, are going to change pretty drastically. Excluding Truth and Regret, they're going to bring all the old maps back, and they're going to bring in the old settings. So, first to 25 kills, AR starts, power weapons, and stuff like that. And they're also, and it's going to be the first 25 kills, not an unlimited kill goal. And one of the issues with that is it's a very different dynamic, and I may have to relearn that again. But I can. Oh, and then also for Truth and Regret, when you do match on Truth and Regret, it will be HCS settings, but it will be first to 25 kills. It won't be an unlimited time barrier. It will be first to 25, but you won't have AR starts, and base movement speed won't be tracked. But for everything else, it's going to be the old settings again, which I'm happy for the change of scenery, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of the ARs, and it's going to be a different meta, because now you won't have as much time. You are going to be pressured by the, well, you know, technically who the guy in the lead is, right? You know, where he's at with kills. But I realized the mentality is still the same, because you have this, you know, this pressure to do better than anyone else, and you know, to 25 kills. But even watching like the greats like Vetoed and Proximity, like when they do well, they're still only focusing on themselves. They may have to perform at a faster speed, but that's about it. Is they're not really driven by what anyone else is doing, and that's a big life lesson, seriously, right there. So I did want to share that. Those are my findings. I did notice that, you know, with having the liberty to, you know, not be driven by a time barrier rather than a kill, you know, first to a score limit, you know, that being taken out and put it a time limit, it allowed you to breathe. But as time progressed, that's at the beginning, I would only win by a few kills here and there, you know. Then it started to progress where I was getting kills more quickly. So now I feel like when this new season comes, it's gonna be different, but a lot of the same mentality will carry over, and just being the best you at a little bit of a faster speed, and you probably will do all right. So I just wanted to share that with you. This is a big milestone for me in my Halo career. I'm very excited. That, again, this just kind of confirms that, you know, this is I'm growth is tangible as it could be. You know, to go, like I said, to go from just someone just watching, you know, YouTube videos to now, and I also want to point out how humbled I am to be able to have you guys want to watch me to learn. That's, you know, I remember a year ago being in your guys' position, watching people like Proximity and Novacast on how to get better, and I still do even to this day. Not as much Novacast. Hopefully one day he'll return, but you know, so watching people like that to now a year later, I'm the one also putting out content. You guys are coming to me for help, and that's just something that has just really humbled me beyond words. And so hopefully my process, my journey, honestly, I said it in the clip earlier, but I'm just an average Joe helping another average guy share his journey, and here I am now to be able to say I was average. I kind of feel like I am, but I'm obviously not. But hopefully I've helped you along the way, and I'm not done. I still have a lot to learn. I feel like I still feel like I scratched the tip of the iceberg. But so with that, I'm going to end this video. Just wanted to share with you how happy I am for this, and thank you to you guys for supporting me along the way. It really does mean a lot for you guys to have stuck around as long as you have. Or if you're new to the channel, hope you have enjoyed what you've seen so far. If you haven't, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I look very much forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.